This video will cover the Reports tab on the basic version. To run any of your reports, you'll want to click on Reports. You can run reports on students, faculty and staff, parents and guardians, volunteers and visitors. To run a report for students, you just need to click on Students. For the first part of this, you need to select the date. We have some preset ones here in the dark gray, or you can customize your own using the calendar here off to the side. For the second part, you need to select the report that you're trying to run. We have late and tardy, early dismissal, absence excuses, birthday badges, activity, after school. So just select one of these. For the third part, you need to select the report type. We have basic, detailed, or summary. Summary will give you the least amount of information on the report. Detailed will give you the most, and basic is in between detailed and summary. It will usually get you what you need. For the fourth part, you need to select the output. You can just view the report, you can print the report, or you can export it onto your computer. I'm just going to click on view so that we can see it here. For the fifth part, we have your report options. These are customizable options for your report. For example, for this specific one, you can report on just one person. You can report late and tardy is greater than a specific amount here. You can report on one grade, class, or homeroom. And these will be different depending on the report that you select for part 2. So as you can see, the options there change. So we're going to leave it at late and tardy there, and we're going to go ahead and click on continue. It will ask you if you want to report on excused, non-excused, or both. I'm going to go ahead and select both. It will then ask you what you want it to sort by. You can sort by date and time or last name. You can also select more choices, and it will allow you to sort by student ID or excuse. After you've selected what you want to sort by, a report like this will be displayed. This is the basic report. The basic report will get you the date, the time, the student's name, the ID number, grade, class, or homeroom, the teacher, unexcused or excused, and the purpose or excuse. If you click on continue, it'll take you back to the student reports. Let's go ahead and go back here. To run a faculty and staff report, you'll need to click on faculty and staff. Again, you'll need to select the date here first. The dark gray ones are the preset ones. You can customize your own by clicking on a calendar here. For part 2, you'll need to select the report you're running. We have faculty and staff list. We also have sign in, weekly time cards, weekly timesheets. Those are some of the more popular ones. For part 3, you'll need to select the report type. Again, we have basic, detailed, or summary. Summary is going to get you the least amount of information on the report. Detailed will give you the most amount of information, and basic is kind of in between those two. For the fourth part, you'll need to select the output. You can export it onto your computer, print the report, or just view it. And again, for part 5, the report options will be different depending on the report you select for part 2 here. As you can see, those change. If you go ahead and click on continue, you can sort by the last name or date. We'll go ahead and sort by date. This is the basic report for faculty and staff. This one will get you the date, the time in and out, the amount of hours, the employee name and ID, the job classification, and the purpose. When you go ahead and click on continue, this will take you back to the faculty and staff reports. Go ahead and click on back. To run a parent and guardian report, you're going to have to click on parent and guardian. You'll need to set up the date first, so we have some preset ones here in the dark gray, or you can customize your own using the calendar here. For the parents and guardians, we only have the parent and guardian list and the parent and guardian webcam photo report. For part 3, we only allow you to run a basic report for this. And for part 4, you can only print it or view it. You cannot export it onto the computer. For part 5, there are no customizable options, so just go ahead and click on continue. This is the basic report for your parent and guardian list. This will get you the parent or guardian names, the ID, the student they are linked to at the school, the relationship to the student, and the teacher or class. When you click on continue, this will take you back to the parents and guardians reports. Go ahead and click on back again. To run a volunteer report, you'll want to click on volunteers. First, you'll need to set up the date. We have some preset ones here in the dark blue, or you can customize your own by using the calendar here. For the second part, you'll need to select the report you're trying to run. You can run reports on volunteer hours, volunteer purposes, organizations if you have that set up. You can just do a volunteer list. So I'm going to go ahead and do the volunteer hours. For the third part, you'll need to select the report type. We have basic, detailed, or summary. Summary is going to get you the least amount of information on the report. Detailed will give you the most amount of information, and basic is kind of in between those two. It will usually get you what you need. For the fourth part, you should select export, print, or view. If you're exporting it onto the computer, go ahead and select export. If you're printing it, go ahead and select print. And if you're just viewing it, go ahead and select view. For part 5, these are different customizable options depending on the report you select for part 2. These will change. So as you can see, those customizable options do change there. After you've customized it, whatever way you want, you can click on continue. And then it'll give you the option to sort by last name or the date. I'll go ahead and sort by the date. This is the basic report for your volunteers. It'll give you the date, the time in, the time out, the hours, the volunteer name, and the purpose for that volunteer. When you click on continue, it'll take you back to the volunteers reports. Go ahead and click on back again. To run a visitors report, you want to click on visitors here. First, you'll need to select the date. You have some preset ones here in the dark gray, or you can customize your own by using the calendar here. For part 2, you need to select the report you're trying to run. You can do visitor hours, visitor list, driver's license. SOR stands for sexual offender report. This is only if you're using the offender check. You can also run reports on vendors and vendor list. Once you've selected your report, go ahead and select the report type for part. Once you've selected the report you're trying to run, go ahead and select the report type in part 3. We have basic, detailed, and summary. Summary is going to give you the least amount of information on the report. Detailed will give you the most, and basic is kind of in between those two. For part 4, you should select the output. We have exporting it onto the computer. You can print the report or you can just view it. After you've selected the output, go ahead and customize it using the report options at the bottom here. These will change depending on the report you select for part 2. So as you can see, those do change. After you've customized it any way you want, go ahead and click on continue. And it'll ask you if you want to sort by the last name or the date. We'll go ahead and sort by date. This is the basic report for your visitors. This one gives you the date, the time in, the hours, the visitor name, and the purpose for that visitor. You can go ahead and click on continue to go back, and then back again. If you wanted to set up automated reports to get sent to an email address, you can do this by clicking on Reports Plus here at the bottom. You'll then need to select a report to set up. For example, you can set one up for your students. First, you'll need to select the report you're trying to run. This is just like running a manual report. So we'll go ahead and do late tardy. You'll need to select the report date range. You can do today, yesterday, this week, last week, this month, or last month. We'll go ahead and do today. You'll then need to select the report type. Again, we have basic, detailed, or summary. Summary will give you the least amount of information on the report. Detailed will give you the most, and basic is kind of in between those two. Next, you'll need to name the stored report. So you can usually name it the same thing as you have for part 1 here. So I'm going to name it late tardy. Then you should put a report description here. Then you'll need to put who created it. The second half of this is filling out the report frequency. First, you need to select the start date for the report and select an end date for the report as well. Then you need to select the days of the week you would like to run this report. Next, you can run the report once per day at a specific time, or run it every certain amount of hours. I'm going to select once per day here, and we'll do 3 p.m. After you're done with that, go ahead and click on Save. This will go ahead and save your report. It'll go under the Existing tab here. That way you can come back at any time and edit this report or delete it. You can also create a duplicate of it. The next thing you need to do is create the email addresses that it needs to be sent to. So go ahead and click on Email To, and you need to select the report here first. So we'll select the late and tardy one we created. Then you need to click on Add New Email Address, and then you need to put the email address that you want it sent to. You can come back to this page at any time to delete it. You can also test it if you want. After you set up the email address, that report will send to that specific email address at the time that you selected. Once you're done, you can go ahead and click on Save Changes. Once you're done, you can go ahead and go back to the Admin tab here. And that concludes this video. To access additional videos, please visit us at schoolcheckin.com.